let's continue this recording. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I lined up my height to about there, and you know, this height, yeah, to about the height of two people. And then it looks like here I've got another cube that sticks out there. For now, let's let's just uh let's just make a quick interior real fast. And this is also one of the advantage to SketchUp. So if you wanted to make like an interior to this, you could just use this thing called offset. And so I've got, this square selected here, and I've got this offset tool, and all I have to do is just offset here and select that inside there, and then if I push down, if I push all the way down, it's just gonna punch a hole. But if I push down until the point where, I don't know, it's like just a little bit off, um, I have an interior now to this space, right? Um, Same thing here. If I were to, let's say, make a rectangle right here, like that, I can push forward, and there would be, an opening here for my balcony area. And actually, now I think about it, I want this to be a little bit lower so that this would be kind of flush with that. So when you walk in, there's no step, you know. But yeah, this is like a really fast way for me to create, a building, right? So make group. Obviously you would probably have to punch a hole in that tower, but for now we're not gonna go in. But it's just to show you all like how fast you can actually create a space using SketchUp. Over here, I'm just gonna make my little balcony area. I'm just eyeballing it, and it's gonna have it stick out. I don't know, maybe that much. Make group, so there'll be a little balcony. And I guess, yeah, if you wanted to, you can do this offset thing here again, like about that much. And I'm just gonna push this up to it's about waist high on that dude, like that. And then I'm just gonna select this inner part and just punch a hole right there. So there's like a little balcony now, you know. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, I've got this section on this entrance here. So let me just get rid of this guy standing on his head. I'm just gonna put this forward, guys forward, and then I'm just gonna make another square come out here, and this will be my entrance, let's say. And let me see, maybe it'll be wider just to kind of even it out. But yeah, there'll be an entryway here and probably a hole punched in there at some point. And yeah, now I gotta figure out the roof. Yeah, I'm not sure how like there'd probably be a ring. Oh yeah, I can do that. Anyways, we can just make a simple roof for now. Let me just do that first. So I'm just gonna pull this up, gonna extrude this out a little bit, because you want a bit of overhang like that, right? And a bit of overhang on that side too. And then, well, I don't know, we can make this either pull in from four corners, or we could do it the other way, where it's just pulling in from two corners like that, you know. This may be the easier way, quite honestly, now that I think about it. You know, it's not as exciting, but it just, makes makes for simpler geometry. You know, and making my life easier is very important. So group, just gonna group that, and then I'm gonna make a little triangle for the front here as well, and that's just gonna embed into the other one. I'm gonna make it about as tall as that one, maybe a little shorter, yeah. And then just gonna scale this and just kind of shrink it that way. And just gonna push pull this until it smashes right in there. Whoop. This should probably be a little wider so that we have a little bit of overhang as well. Right, so there we go. And then need to make like let's say a half circle kind of thing going on here. Let's see, what can I do? There's a few ways to do this. I could show you how to do it. What I could probably do is I'm gonna turn this into a component. Roof 01. Alright. So as I taught you before, when you make a component, like on the pillars there, what you do to one, it does the same to all the other components, right? So if I were to duplicate this now that it's a component, whatever I do to this thing on the outside, it'll do the same to that on the inside. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to affect that one without having all that geometry in my way. And so what I'm gonna do, you could see here, is make a little triangle thing vertically, like so. And I'm gonna make hopefully a flat square. I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I can. Cool. Good. Flat square about here. And yeah, make sure that this thing sticks out about as much as I want my roof to stick out. So let's see, about halfway. About a quarter of the way. Let's say about there. Okay, cool. Just gonna delete this now. See, whatever I do to this, it'll do to the other one, right? And now I'm gonna make like a half circle using this arc tool. Just gonna draw a half circle there. And then I'm just gonna delete and erase out. That's the eraser tool, by the way. E for eraser. And now we got this thing called the follow me tool, where I can, next to offset, if I were, see how it's highlighting that triangle? So I'm just gonna try this. This is a little tricky, but if I click once on the left click, and yeah, and I kind of trace along this circle here, see that? It kind of helps it, yeah, go along there, and then I've got like this little rounded out roof that kind of follows that circle right there. I want to retrace out the circle thing. I'm just gonna draw it back in now. Oh, there's a hole that showed up. This is dirty geo. This is not clean at all. But this is one way that you can actually create some pretty fast geometry that, goes around there. It's like a nice little roof. And, granted it's not perfect, right? It's maybe a little tall, maybe it should flatten out over here a bit, but I don't know. I just put that there. so. And then you could probably, you know, make yourself a little roof here as well, um, using the circle. So just circle. And remember when I said like you want to make sure that all your uh, all your faces align with each other, and in order to do that, you need to kind of follow one of these axes. Well, this is like a perfect example here. See how now everything's all aligned? If I just arbitrarily picked any angle, I would have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what that axis is. Um, and so here I'm putting in like a little roof here, and then there's like, yeah, I kind of did like a circular thing there too. Well, you could, I don't know. It might be just easier just to make a frame, quite honestly. Yeah, at the end of the day. Anyways, I'm just gonna triple click here, make that a group. You know, make sure everything's a separate group. And yeah, I can make that. Let's try it. Uh, the way I would go about that would be I would just make myself a cube first, so I can extrude up, and it's about want it to be about that tall. Yeah, like that. And then I don't know, thickness wise, that maybe that thick. I'm looking at the frame there. And then I'm just gonna hit control so that I can extrude out and get, I know where my curve starts now. And now I'm gonna do the arc thing and just gonna draw myself a little arc here, like so. And then I'm just gonna delete this face and do the offset tool. So back here, come down here, offset, like that. And now I can just kind of punch through all the way, hopefully. Erase that, delete this. See what's on the other side. Did I delete it yet? Nope, good. Okay. Gonna punch through this side as well. Come on, get rid of you. Yeah, delete. And now I'm just gonna push this all the way until it hits about center point. You can see I'm referencing the center point there. And I'm just gonna triple click, group. And I'm just gonna line this up a little better so that this center point matches up with whatever vertice this is. Good. Duplicate, rotate about 180. Just gonna center point that. And now I've got a nice sort of curved frame. Make group. And now all I have to do is duplicate, rotate, duplicate, rotate. So just gonna hit control, just gonna pull it out, pull it back in, and now when I rotate, it should be on the same axis, center from the middle. Gonna select these two, make group. I probably should have made those into components now that I think about it. Anyways, we'll come back if we need to. This isn't that difficult to make. But anyways, yeah, so now I've got this, and you've got that, and now I'm just gonna, let's see, I'm just gonna make a circle again, and I know my center point, so I'm just gonna start from there, And along the axes, I'm just gonna see how finicky SketchUp can get. That's what turns most people off of SketchUp, is when it kind of goes wild trying to reference all those points. Any case, I've got this. I'm just eyeballing, and just gonna make a cone, and that's kind of my lighthouse. Yeah, I probably should have done it in a couple of steps. Let's see. Let's try it. It's like really steep, and then you push pull up, and it's less steep. Maybe this part should be. This part would be less steep, and then push this part, and this part just, I don't know, turns into the cone. It's always kind of tricky, right? Just trying to move it along the blue axes. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit closer. Not perfect, but yeah. Triple click, make a roof, make a group, and there's that. So that's kind of my geometry. I've got a little balcony there. I don't know. I still need to decide if I want to keep it. Again, don't try to get too locked up in the minutia. That's a very tricky thing, quite honestly. All right, so path-wise, now got some kind of like a more of an organic path. So let's just draw it out with this line tool. So I'm just gonna make sure I'm on that surface there. I'm just gonna draw out something, I don't know, something flat. Something to extrude off of. Just go straight across there. Straight across there. Again, I want to be on the face here when I do this. And I want it to kind of follow the organicness of this terrain as much as I can. And then once I close it back up, then it becomes a face, right? And that's when I can extrude this up and kind of have it follow the same height as the other side there. So yeah, perhaps it's perhaps I should make this symmetrical. So I'm just gonna duplicate that and then rotate it 90 degrees and do the same for this side, so that, yeah, when you come out, you're coming out to some kind of a path. Triple click here, make a group, and then hide it. Now I'm gonna make my bridge house. Using the circle. Something like this. And then I'm just gonna push pull up and then shrink. I'm holding down control while I do that, so then when I shrink it, it goes to center. Otherwise it goes off to one side and it's a little lopsided. Alright, so let me go back to visibility now, and you'll see the hidden objects. If I check it, yeah, see that path? That's what I just hid. I'm gonna unhide it, and now I'm just gonna move this all the way up. A little higher. I do want this to kind of match the rooftop here as well, so... Oh, maybe even a little higher because it looks like the ground might be a little higher because of the bridge. We'll see. Alright. I've got this, and let's just say this is my roof for this. And that means I'm gonna need another circular piece underneath this. Let's do it this way. If you put your cursor on the end there, it'll show you that center point. And I want my center point, well, first off, I want it to be on an axis here. And I want that center point to, you know, match up. And there we go. Probably not going to put all those arches in there. It seems like extraneous work. Now, from what I had before, I also had another square building over here, so maybe I'll incorporate that now as well. So here's a bit of a squarish building. I'm just gonna get it about the same height as my other building so that they all kind of match up, and this one just jams right into the circular building. Triple click, group, and now I'm going to make another square over the top of it. Gonna push pull this until it hits the roof there. Just gonna have it overhang just a wee bit. And then I'm just gonna shrink this part down from center. You probably don't want that part to be... I kind of made it too tall now that I think about it. But yeah, you probably don't want this part to be, like have that valley, that V shape, because yeah, the water's not gonna drop down. So I'm just gonna lower it along the blue axes here until we have like a flatter roof. And just gonna... Oh! At a weird angle. That's not good. I'm just gonna have to move it until it just embeds. There we go. That's a little bit nicer, I think. Of course, there's gonna be an overhang and all that kind of stuff, but yeah. Triple click here, make that a group. This is a group, and that's a group. Now we make our bridge. This is quite a bit of work, quite honestly. I probably made a bit more, but imagine if you had to draw everything. That would be a lot more work too. It's a lot of work regardless. Again, what I'm trying to do here is kind of delineate. Oh yeah, this is a bridge section that's starting. Probably wanted to line up with that. And then, yeah, we can make this like a bridge with railing. So we use the offset tool here yet again. Just kind of offset. I can punch this all the way through, and then punch this until it hits that ceiling there. It's going to erase that. And I'm making the floor thicker so that it touches sort of the bottom of that building right there. And then they group. So that's kind of the start of my bridge, right? And then just gonna, let's see what the end of the bridge is gonna look like. It looks like, it looks like from this point to this point, I'm gonna have like a dip on my roof design. And so let's try making that first. I think it'll be like in a few sections. One, I'm gonna click on control so that it just kind of segments out my my extrusions here. So it hits there, there, and there, right? And now I want to lower these two. Well, let me see here. I want to shrink it down so it's like a triangle, right? Now I want to lower these two. On the vertical axes if I can't. Oh, we won't let them out on the. Okay, I have to do it one at a time, I think. Let's see. Can I? No. Okay, I can only do it with lines, I think. Maybe. Oh, it won't let me. Dang you. See, how else should I do this? I know. I'm just gonna do it manually then. Okay. So I'm just gonna shrink this down a little bit. Extrude forward. Extrude that down just a little bit. Forward. Extrude it back up a little bit. Forward. Extrude that back up. Or scale it back up a little bit until I get there. And then let's do the end here. Till we get to a high point here. That. And then we could also put another piece out here. Show you. Push pull. Oh, you want it segmented though, so I'm gonna hit Control, and now it extrudes out as a segment. Then hit S, S, and then have it really go up. But then the bottom of it here, we can just shrink that down. Now it looks like it's leaning, kind of like a Viking thing. And now we can do this side. Let's see, extrude this part. And then I'm just gonna shrink that. Now we have, I think that's our roof. Make group. I'm just gonna raise this up. Oh, come on. Stay on the blue. Stay on target. Okay, cool. So you could kind of see how I created that now. And then I'm just gonna copy this because that middle piece is a little bit different. Make it like there's like a gap here. I want it to line up. Let's delete that and that. Now push pull this out. It's a little bit low, isn't it? It feels that way. Huh. I should raise this stuff up. Make group. Raise this stuff up a little bit. Dude, push it up. So it hits that point. There we go. Seems a little bit more aligned now. And then, yeah, so this part's tricky, right? You wanna, let's just make a rectangle down here. Let's make it the right size first, and then we'll shrink it a little bit. Like this, I'm gonna shrink it all the way around, a little bit on the sides. Just gonna push pull. So, oh yeah, this front part's just gonna line up, but this part is gonna have a little bit of an overhang. Like so. Pretty good. Triple click, group, and yeah, it looks like there's like a bridge section here. I haven't quite figured out that footprint, honestly. But I do think that this is probably the same, so I'm just gonna duplicate that, put that over here. So, yeah, it's not bad. A little bit. Tall. Just gonna line it up like so. And then, yeah, I'm gonna duplicate this. Control C, Control V. Just gonna push pull this until it hits whatever that terrain is. It'll be a whole story, I guess. Let's put this guy here. I'm gonna copy him over and make him double the height. See how I can use this as a ruler now to figure out how tall I want to make my floors? About there. Cool. Like this. Now, I did have the second floor overhang quite a bit. I'm going to push this part back in a bit so that I could put the stairs. I made it look like the stairs curved there, and I'm having second thoughts about that because that's so much work. So I'm just gonna, oh, before I group this, see there's like this little carved out section there. Yeah, let's make that. Just gonna start off on the edge here, and oof, maybe that wasn't lined up correctly. Yeah, it wasn't. Line it up better. Okay. Sometimes you could be just a millimeter off and then it won't stick to the surface there like you want it to. Ah, see, now it allows you to cut it out. So then here, just gonna put in my little curve. Come on. About there. And I need to make sure that it kind of lines up. Just want to pull it to about there, I guess. This bottom part here, vertical. Yeah. Ah, come on. All right. Now I'm just going to cut this all the way through. See how sometimes you have to get a good view on it in order for you to, push it through to the other side. Again, everything on here is kind of view dependent. So that's, again, another tricky part about working in SketchUp that some folks may go like, oh, I'm used to the way Maya does it. And I don't blame you. It's all right. So stairs. Guessing. I'm guessing somewhere in the back is an entrance. Now, the more I think about that. I'm just making a ramp. I don't want to. Let's see. Not bad. Draw a line right there. Going straight down to make a cut. And then this part wraps around and there's probably a doorway somewhere here. Oh, it probably goes to the second floor now that I think about it. Not bad. Yeah. Ugh. Sometimes things just get in the way. But yeah, like that. There's a little bit of weirdness happening here where if you kept walking up here, you'd butt your head up against that. So I think we may have to lower this a bit. Like, it has to fit a person, right? So you can see here is like it's taking his head off if he, so I need to make this at least like that. So see there. And yeah, maybe this doesn't need to, see, this is only after, like Z depth isn't very easy to define in a drawing, but it's much easier to define, as you're making this. And then if you need a curve, you can make a curve around here. So I'd probably just go halfway. And then push pull. That's all the way down. There you go. Kind of gives you the idea of a curve. Triple click, make group. There'd probably be a door down here too, now that I think about that. All right, so we've got our trough, we got our water wheel. Oh, my input device is my mouse. I don't know why it asked me that. Okay, Gonna make this terrain. So now I'm just tracing, right? I'm tracing along here. Oh, you don't want to. Blue is going straight up, right? So you got to make sure that you change your angle when that thing turns blue on you. Yeah, you don't want it to turn blue. Green is okay, but yeah, no. And when it's pink, it's just a continuation of the previous, and when it's red, it's just going, straight across like that. All right, so we've marked off the end, and now we can actually make our terrain part. And then even within our terrain part, we've got like a little lake part too. Remember? So gotta be able to cut that out eventually. Which maybe we should do that now, now that we have it still here. So I'm just gonna keep it simple. Remember, it looked like a stomach or something. Something like that. All right. Now, okay, now let's extrude this so that it's touching the ground. Yeah, I had to do that in 2 steps. And then now this part here, that's down here, we pull this up until it's a little bit lower so it's more of a lake. We could still manipulate some of this stuff so that, you know what I mean? Like you could still kind of adjust it. There we go. So this part is like blue. Let's just pick a color. Go down here, color. We can pick blue. That the water. Yeah. Just to mark it out for ourselves. And yeah, from here you can actually hit control and extrude up. So now you have like a little lake, maybe just a little bit of that. Again, this is just for planning. And then we've got our water wheel, our bridge. We're almost done. Almost done. Almost done. All right. Yeah. Be sure to save. So save. I'm just gonna name this something like bridge building 01. Enter. But you could kind of start seeing it, right? Like I still need to make the terrain down here, but this will save us a lot of time as far as drawing goes. The water wheel is probably the trickiest here. Let's start off by just making a simple circle, and then we'll work our way through it. All right. So I'm just gonna go on this blue axis on that circle, and I'm gonna push and pull our way through it. Make group. I'm just gonna bring it out here, and actually I'm gonna make it I want to see the whole wheel first. All right, offsets. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna offset 1, and then we're gonna offset again, and that'll be our center, and then we'll have our spokes. So there's 1, right? And then, actually this part, what we can do is make this a group. I'm just gonna offset off of this real fast like that. Give it a little bit of this stuff for the paddles, right? And then you can just duplicate this, control, right? Drag it, bring it back, and then you flip it perfectly horizontal, hopefully, like that. And now I'm just gonna raise this up and have the two halves match up like that. Cool. And now we need to make the spokes real fast. Just gonna make a little spoke here. And raise this up, triple click, group, and you want to line it up center to center. So see that that's grabbing the midpoint, and I just want to line that up against there. And now I'm just gonna push pull this thing until it matches the geometry that I need it to be at. So need it to hit the edge here, that end point. I need it to hit the end point of this right here as well. So now we know that's spoke is exactly the same, you know, the same length as my wheel here. I want to widen this out a little bit, like about that much. And I have to do the same to the other side, but if I double click, it'll repeat that same extrusion. Perfect. So now I know this thing's symmetrical, right? And let's make it slightly thicker. Cool. And then from here we can do our age-old trick of, hit Control on the Move tool, drag it out, drag it back in, and then we're just gonna move 90 degrees, right? Drag it out, drag it back in. Gonna move, what, 45? Drag it out, drag it back in. To about there. And that's pretty good. Pretty much enough for this, you know. And could do the backside too, but I don't know. Right now I'm just this is kind of good enough for a foundation for a water wheel. Make group. Oh, the whole thing is in a group already. Huh. Okay, so now let's make this vertical again. Oh, it's leaning. Vertical. Perfect. So now we kind of have our water wheel, and maybe it needs to be a little bit wider. You can always play with that. And then I can also grab all these pieces and make it a group and just move this. Remember that center point's touching? Oh, come on. I'm gonna hit Control so that I can move that over there. Now it's on the other side. This part right here needs to stick out more over here. Oh, it looks like I punched a hole right through there. So you patch it by just drawing a line, and now we go like that. It's pretty good for what we need. Just gonna center it up a little bit. There'll be a little trough over here that pours water into this thing. Oh yeah, and there's these two pillars for it to stand up on. Those shouldn't give us any trouble. Like this. And we'll do another offset off of this. Could curve it up there, or I don't know, dealer's choice. If I curve it, I'll use this arc tool about there. And I'm just gonna punch this all the way through, like that. Triple click, make a group, or copy it, bring it onto this other side. And then last but not least, I need to put like a little stick going through it, so you can use the offset tool. That'll be easy. Offset it, going down the middle there. Push. Yeah, line up there. And you kind of want the same thing on the other side there, so see if I can just copy and move this to the other side. There we go. And now push pull so that this sticks out a little bit there too. And from what we can see now, you know, this thing's not exactly centered, so I'm just gonna scoot this over until it's more centered. Perfect. Now we need our little trough thing, which isn't too hard. It's just a long rectangle that goes to a more squarish rectangle. Oh my goodness, I never grouped this. Okay. Triple click, group your terrain. See how it was all sticky? It wouldn't let me. I thought I just wanted to make this thing right on the surface of that. So here we go. Here's our, and I guess we could make it kind of like the bridge. So let's do this. Punch this all the way through. Under here, just punch it up. Delete. Delete. And we can, you know, control. And this will be our water, I guess. That. And we'll want a triple click, group. And then you'll want a slight angle on this. Like that, even if it's just a little bit. Yeah, I underestimated my cliff. Probably need to make that cliff kinda, I don't know, not come out so much. Or just cut this part out. Yeah, I can just cut this part out a little bit. Be easy enough. Just cut. Let's just say cut it all the way to the end here. There. Cut it here. And I'm just gonna push this low. There we go. Now it looks like it's, you know, working. And there would be like a machine of some sort here. I'm not sure what that machine is yet. We could figure it out. when we get to doing more specific things like props, etc. But in any case, there'd be something here in the water. Maybe a smaller wheel, I don't know. But yeah, that would pour it down, and then this thing would spin. There'd be little paddles in there that would make that work. See, last but not least, I need to put in my terrain. So how do I do that? I'm just gonna make a very simple thing and then try to make it, you know. I noticed, yeah, remember I moved this stuff out before, so this terrain is not gonna match up perfectly, but no blue axes, please. Definitely needs to envelop our path there, and it needs to go sort of out of the way of our wheel. It needs to go underneath our bridge. Top down, better. I'm gonna try to avoid 90 degrees as much as possible if we can. Go. I wrapped it all the way around. Right, so from here we can push pull a bit. Sort of figure out our mountain top. And that's going to be hard because, you know, it kind of needs to work around all this other stuff. So I'm not sure if I can actually do a great job at it, but we'll try. Let me offset this a little bit. Just kind of stair step it up. Kind of needs to just do that, and then we'll punch a hole here so that our path comes back, but over here should get higher, so let's kind of work around this fella. There. And then this section, we can do another offset. It's a bit Minecraft. I get you know. But this is a lot of how architects kind of tend to do it too. Yeah, just a little bit of a tiered system here. And then, yeah, from here we can come back and just carve out, you know, what we had here. So, I don't know, like, I remember there was my cool U-turn here. The trick here is to kind of cut in just slightly without ruining your path that you carved out. Go all the way across here. So I'm just gonna push this part down. I see my path now. Yeah. Okay. So I need to cut off this whole section actually. Like that. Needed to cut that part off. And then only leave maybe a little bit here. Cool. And now, you see how you're just kind of carving around this stuff? You're just kind of, I don't know. Oof. I could push pull this up. Aha! Now it's starting to get there. Again, not perfect. This is all just kind of happening. I guess it doesn't cut across. Probably the better method then would be just to stair step it yet again. Like that. And, oh yeah, and of course this section should be down. Like that. So you kind of see how these terrain things can get carved as you go. Again, it's hard. It's hard to get organic with SketchUp, and I do admit that this is kind of clumsy. But if you need something quickly modeled, it's pretty good for previs. Gonna cut around this building a bit more. I don't know. Beyond that intersection, let's get to the other side here. Gonna have to find something that's on that. Yes, I almost had it. Something on the same plane, like here. Aha! Now I can push this down and kind of carve out my path here. Just gonna move this in, and there you go. Right. So the important thing now is to just group this, make it brown or something, so that we can really identify path versus terrain. Same thing here, except for that part. So this is all kind of brown, like that, right? So we can identify that. Probably put another rock here or something, just to, hide that part unless if we want to put a balcony there or something. But yeah, there's still things that are missing, like for example, these type of supports. Control C, Control V. Oh goodness. Yeah. So we can push this in, shrink it down like that much, right? And just make some L supports for it. Make group, or actually make this a component. Yeah, call it balcony. Okay. Just put a couple of these under it. These may be oversized, but oh, yeah, it needs to be like up against the cliff here. Shrink it down a bit more. And then in this instance, this thing needs to get pulled all the way down to the terrain level. Then you can have a couple of these. One, definitely one at the end here. And there should be these things also on the bridge. As you can see, I drew out some. But again, I'm just trying to block this in for now and trying to figure out all the little nuances later. So yeah, we could probably come in with the second layer here on this bridge, but overall we've got a lot of this stuff figured out as far as probably need to put a door here. Let me see, I'm just gonna put a rectangle right there. Have it stick out a little bit. Have this go all the way down to this ground level. Triple click, group. Now move it in so that there's a slight offset. Cool. So yeah, it's pretty fun method of trying to get this to work as far as a concept piece goes. But yeah, blocking in all this stuff really helps. You can always hide these as well. Oh yeah, let's go back to my little glasses thing here. You can uncheck that. And now, yeah, so very quick block in. I probably still need that one support here because this guy's feeling kind of empty. Let's get that. Control C. Once you copy and paste it outside of the, let's say outside of the component, it no longer gets repeated. It's outside of that now. So it's only while it's still in that component that it maintains that. see if I can make a zigzag thing going. Like this. And we can duplicate, rotate, and shrink. That. You want to figure out sort of this angle. Reach up. I'm gonna hit Control, duplicate this, and then I'm gonna extend these so they go past that a little bit. Group, 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 and then group this. And then all you gotta do is get this all the way down to this bottom part. Duplicate. And then duplicate. And then sink that in towards center. Probably need some on the side here as well. Duplicate, rotate this 90. Yes. Gonna move this stuff to the right. Ugh. I need this one too. Yes. Now it's a pillar. Sort of. It's a little bit thicker, but there we go. All right. Well, there's the quick demo on how to just block this stuff in. Try not to get too overly detailed. Just try to get the basic shapes in, and then from there, what we can do is actually map out the perspective off of a screenshot. So what I mainly want from y'all would be the screenshot. So let's go back and look at my hidden objects again. Need to unhide that. I want to unhide that. And give me a couple of screenshots, you know, one from this angle, one from the other angle. So I'm just gonna hit snipping tools? Snipping tool. And I'm just gonna camera, hit new. Just gonna grab one. Cool. And then save, right? Save as. I'm gonna put this in not OneDrive, but my Otis folder here. And I don't want it as a PNG. Save it out as a JPEG. It just makes life easier. So, bridge, house, screenshot, and go, I don't know, Dan. Alright, 01. And give me like 3 screenshots. Maybe one from the front view as well. It's nice in perspective. How long would that have taken us to draw, right? Snipping tool. Just gonna do this part too. look here, save as, and I'm gonna come in and say screenshot. Yeah. Oh, it already saved it under a different name. I guess if you rename it, Otis here. There. Screenshot number 2. I guess it drops it off in this OneDrive thing, huh? I think you need like 3 to really show what's going on. Right. And then what's cool is now that we have this built out, we can actually get a better composition closer in later if we wanted to. So I'll show you how that can be done. Let me save this out first. Save as Otis. Make it a JPEG, and then this will be part 3. So what's kind of cool is, yeah, like we can actually get a nice shot like from the ground view like this, right? And be a lot easier for us to draw off of this than, you know, to have to grid it out from the get-go, you know. Or maybe a view on the bridge. What's kind of neat too about SketchUp is they've got this one tool that's like a look around tool or position camera tool. And you could just drop your camera in here. So I'm gonna put it next to this dude. Boom. And I can just kind of look around, you know, see like, oh, what would this look like from said angle or whatever, like that, you know. But yeah, it all kind of starts off from orthographic views, and then from there, you know, but try to keep this mainly outdoorsy, like, I don't know, a view like that might be kind of cool as a beauty shot, you know, something. So have fun, and yeah, give me some screenshots, and if you want, you could save out your SketchUp model as well. Show you how to do that real quick. Go here to here, and then you can either export this as a OBJ or FBX, and that, you know, saves it as a file that you can open up in Maya later. Or you can just download this as a SKP, which is a SketchUp file. So, you know, I'll just download that, and that'll show up in my downloads folder. All right, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.